Hi everyone, this is Ian Christie from Flybox, and today we're going to be tying a foam arsed blob with our Neon 15 Fritz. The hook I'm going to tie this fly on is a HANAK H260 wide gape hook in size 10. It's a really strong hook, it's a good strong wire, and it has a long needle point, which is perfect for this style of fly. The thread I'm going to use is Textreme fluorescent orange 6/0 thread. It's a great colour to match the pattern, and it's a really strong and easy to use thread. So first things, to start off, we attach the thread at the eye of the hook and trim off the excess. Second step is to bring the thread down the body, just creating a nice even layer of thread on the shank of the hook. That will give some grip to the materials going on top. And if we bring the thread back to the centre of the hook, and now we're going to tie on a tail for the fly. And for the tail we're going to use a new colour of Marabou, which we've just released, which is Sunburst Peach. So what to do is straighten the fibres of the Marabou, and we just pinch a small section off. Now if we just twist the stalks, that will bunch the Marabou nicely, and we need to trim this down to the right size. So what to do is just move your fingers up the Marabou there and just pinch off the ends, and we'll tie this in onto the hook and just position it down, creating the right length. What we want is about 4 or 5 mil beyond the gape of the hook. So just tie that nice and secure, and then bring the thread back down to the gape. After we've tied that in, we just trim off the excess Marabou. Now for the most important ingredient of a foam arsed blob, which is the reason it floats itself, is adding some foam into the fly. Now I'm using our 5mm booby cylinders in white. Now these are a perfect size for tying F.A.Bs. What we do is we cut it in half, and what we want to do is cut the foam cylinder almost in 3/4. So we trim off a section of the foam, and we're left with a nice sort of semicircle crescent shape, and we want to position that on top of the Marabou like so, and just pull down on the thread and do plenty of turns, keeping it nice and secure, and the foam will just spring up on top of the Marabou. And with the excess we can just pinch that off and then whip down, just tidy this up. The body section here seems quite untidy, but that's kind of irrelevant because we're going to put a 15mm Fritz on, so that will tidy all that up. So the Fritz I'm going to use is Flybox Neon 15 Fritz, which is a non-translucent Fritz, extremely bright and has good movement and colour in the water, very bright, and also from a tying perspective it's extremely easy to tie with. This is the most popular colour in the range, which is our standard Sunburst. So to tie in, we're just pinching a couple of fibres off to reveal the core, and then tie on the core onto the shank of the hook, and just wrap it down to the back of the hook. And now we can bring the thread back up to the eye of the hook. So like most Fritz, we're just folding the fibres backwards on each turn. Just sweep the fibres back with your left hand, just keeping the tension tight. And with most fritzes you'll see there's a twist in the material, so sometimes it can help just twisting the material slightly to help the fibres flow backward. So just gradually keep working the fritz up the body on each turn, sweeping the fibres backwards until we get towards the eye of the hook. Now I would say it's important not to go too close to the eye of the hook, because we have to tie in the fritz and secure it, and then also whip finish and tidy up. So you don't want to leave yourself with not enough room to work with towards the eye of the hook. Now when we get to the eye of the hook, if we just give it an extra pinch of tension towards the back of the fly, and that will just keep everything nice and tight. And then we'll just catch in the Neon 15 with the thread, and that's looking quite tidy. So we can just snip off the excess, and then with all the fibres sitting forward, if you just pull those back with your left hand and tidy it up, and you can just build a small head. And then once we've built the head, then we can finish the fly with just a simple whip finish. Now, to tidy up any sort of loose fibres towards the end of the hook, this is a really great tool to get, which is a cauterizer. It's called the Thread Zap 2, which is available. They're available from Tie It On Flies if you speak to Scott Kane. And what this does is it allows you to burn away any small fibres without taking out several other fibres and damaging the fly, which you can often do with a cigarette lighter. So a really great tool. And then lastly, the final stage is to just give a small amount of varnish, clear varnish, to the head of the fly. And then a final optional addition, and some suggest this helps the fly swim more evenly, is to give the foam tail just a slice right down the centre. And there we are. Sunburst foam arse blob with Neon 15 fritz, Sunburst Marabou tail and white foam cylinders. Thanks.